But why are you talking? This is crazy. I really hope I'm making sense, but it's so entertaining. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am starting another weekly vlog. It is currently Tuesday as I'm filming this, but I did start this yesterday on Monday, so I feel like that's good enough to count. And I'm currently reading Pritty by Keith F. Miller Jr. And this is one of the older books on my TBR. I got this probably like 2 years ago, and I've been putting it off, not specifically for like anything with the book or the content. It's just I don't read YA super frequently anymore, and this is YA. It is a little bit on the mature side to be YA, so I would definitely, like, if you are recommending YA books to like your kids or the teens in your family or in your life, like this one I definitely would say needs to be vetted. It does have a little bit of mature content in it, not just like between like romantically, but there's a little bit of grit to it that I don't know. It might need to be supervised with, if you're talking about like high school age kids reading this. But nonetheless, I am enjoying it. I do really like the writing style and the approach. It's been so long since I've read a book, like a contemporary book or a romance book by a man. And it's very fresh. And I feel like I said that about A Quick Game Meze as well. But it's such a unique like perspective, or not perspective, but approach to romance, especially given that this is queer. I don't know if I said that already, but this is queer. This main character is Leroy. He is bisexual, I'm pretty sure. And then we have Jay, who is gay, but like he's still stepping into that. He's still discovering that. He's still getting comfortable with that for himself. And something that I do like about this so far anyways, I'm only on page 130 here. Something I do like about it, it's not like they're not in the closet. Like he's still learning what being gay means for him, Jay is, but they're not like hiding, or that, at least that's not how it seems to me. They're not hiding. They're not being shamed. Like there's one guy who says something really ignorant, but like it's not the focus of the book is what I'm saying. It's not taboo in the book, you know, like the adults are okay with it. Like it's just, it seems so progressive even still in 2026. Like I feel like it's so progressive, and it feels like it's so safe. Hopefully, I mean, I could be wrong here. Like there's so much more of the book to go, but it's not the central theme. It's not the focus of like making that a pain point. Queerness isn't a pain point in this book, and I'm really liking that so far. I do like the flailing nature of discovering what love is. There's a part in the book where Jay is like writing love letters, and like writing love letters for like dudes in his school, so that they can give to their girlfriends, because like they just don't have a way with words like he does. And he's like, well, what does love mean? And like, you know, how do I write a love letter if I've never been in love? And like just that whole like green, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed like discovery of, you know, that side of connecting with people. I just think it's really sweet. It's really, really sweet to see through the eyes of like a 17-year-old kid. Like that's really nice. You know, there's a little bit of like, oh, does he, doesn't he? Like it's cute. But like I said, there is a little bit of grit to it. So I think it's woven into the story equally, like romance and, you know, that coming of age and self-discovery, but also like a little bit of conflict and grit into it. And I'm really liking it so far. I have the physical book, obviously. I also have it on my ebook I got from Libby, and I have the audiobook also from Libby. This is also part of a series. The second book is called Together. And it has 3 boys on the cover, and I'm like, who are those 3 boys? This is 2. And then there's lots of boys in this story. Like they each have brothers. There's like a couple of love interests. There's some ops. So I'm like, who are the boys? You know, like I'm really interested. But like, yeah, so far so good. I'm really liking it. So I'll give you guys a little bit more of an update on something else. Oh, I did want to tell you something that I saw here, and I'm gonna write it down in my reading journal in like the quote section. But I wanted to tell you guys, I thought it was so funny. Like, I literally laughed out loud. So Jay, his brother Jacob, and 2 other boys, Will and Princeton, they're all like walking down the street or whatever, and there's a guy with like a really fancy car. What is it? A 75 Chevy, a candy apple red 75 Chevy on 30-inch rims. Okay, getting washed like by some cute neighborhood girls or whatever. And they're playing the song Laffy Taffy by D4L, if you remember. And Jacob, Will, and Princeton all like stop, and they're dancing, and they're all in sync, right? And he says, everyone does their own rendition of the dance. All eyes are on Jacob and Will and Princeton as they shake their shoulders, pause, and then body roll to the beat, sealing each direction with a snap. Together, they are a Snickers bar, nougat, caramel, and milk chocolate. And on the and on the side, watching the show, is me, the rapper. It's so obvious, he's so funny, but it's also real sad. Like, you have like, yeah, your brother, your 2 friends are like the cool kids, and then there's you, the rap. But no, yeah, I'm really liking it so far. I just had to stop and tell you guys like what I'm reading, what I think about the book, and then tell you guys that hilarious freaking quote. But yeah, so far so good, and I will come back and talk to you guys more about the book later on. But why are you talking? What is happening? Thank you. All right, you guys, I have finished Pritty. I finished it this morning, and it is now evening if it's not clear. But I want to give you guys my thoughts on this book. It was pleasantly, surprisingly an enjoyable experience. I got way more out of this book than I thought. And this is like a book that is in the side of YA that is like where people underestimate YA, and they think that it is childish and juvenile, and the kids are making questionable decisions, and like they're terrible at communication and stuff like that. Like, that's not what this is. Like, first and foremost, I will say, I don't know if I even told you what the book was about. If I did, I'll cut this out. But it follows Jay and Leroy, and they kind of live in the same neighborhood, and they have a crush on one another, but they're not telling one another. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about as far as like the YA being like, why don't y'all just say what y'all need to say? And like, you know what I mean? It could be kind of frustrating. And that is, it carries throughout the book, in that regard of them like liking each other, but really having a hard time expressing that. And it's not even just like they have a hard time expressing it to each other. They're having a hard time like understanding what that means and what that looks like or how that feels for themselves. There's a lot of self-discovery in it, which I think is pretty fresh for YAs. Like if you want to go back in time and kind of reminisce on like what it was like to be in this age, or what it was like to, you know, be forming solid friendships or relationships, or trying to anyways, when you're just starting out like socially as like in that transition into an adult. I feel like this is a really good representation of what and how that looks. It delves into what friendship looks like. It delves into like what a crush looks like, what love looks like, what family, both true family and found family looks like, and the lengths you're willing to go to protect one another, and you know how trust is built and broken. What else does it talk about? It talks about, now something that was so unclear to me, and I think I did talk about this at the beginning, was there is a community organization, okay, in this, and I was like, what kind of community organization is it? Is this nefarious, or is this noble? And I think my little pea brain, right, even by the end, I think I know which one it is, but just the way that the people were moving in it, I guess I can put the book down. The way that the people, the main characters and even the side characters were moving within this community organization, it made me think it was one over the other, and I wasn't sure. And even when it did become clearer what type of organization it was, I'm still trying to figure out like the why behind the central conflict and the community organization. I really hope I'm making sense, because obviously I'm trying not to spoil anything. So yeah, I did, as I was doing my reading journal and I was like answering some of the prompts. I told you the reading journal that I have has questions, like 3 different prompts to help you like flesh out your thoughts or your feelings, or, you know, challenge your perspectives on the books. And every page is different, or every prompt is different for every book, if that makes sense. The 3 prompts don't just recycle for each book. It's 3 different prompts for every single book. So I really look forward to seeing what the prompts are for each book and how they may or may not align with the type of story that I read in that. But either way, one of the prompts says something about like what questions did you have like by the end of the book, or like what plot holes were there. And I wouldn't say that there is a plot hole, but like it really made me think and reflect on the origin of community organizations, and what I think, if it's a noble community organization, that is the origin of those were to bond communities and to keep your community safe and to protect the community when the people who are charged with protecting your community are doing the very opposite. So if that is what this community organization was in this book, then if I'm understanding it correctly, then I really liked seeing that possibility and seeing how that should have looked, or seeing how that probably does look. I truly honestly do not know specifically how that looks in real life, or how that used to look in real life. So seeing it this way, like, it was confusing honestly for me, because I'm just not well versed in it. I haven't researched it enough, but I do think is a different take, because you know, if you read any urban fiction, there's probably definitely going to be community organizations all up and through, but do you see how and when they got started and what their intent was, and you know what their message is, and you know that found family without violence. It's not always clear in some books, and obviously in this one, to be fair, it wasn't clear, but it was clearer. And maybe it's because it's a YA or whatnot, but I think there's a lot to take from it. And like, I could talk all day about like my thoughts on the community organization and like what that means and like how that unfolded. I feel like this might be a good book club book if you guys are into book clubs. I feel like book clubs are really popping off right now. At least they are in my head, because I'm like, I want to talk to people about books, like while I'm reading them. So yeah, I think there is a lot to explore. The community organizations, the sexualities, the families, colorism. There's colorism in here. An internal perception of colorism. And I won't even say an internal reflection of one's lived experience surrounding colorism. And it was just so raw and vulnerable to see from one of the characters, and you know how they were feeling about all these things, and like especially like coming from like a young boy. And this book is written by a man, Keith F. Miller Jr. There's so much masculinity in the book, and for me, as the type of reader that I am, I typically gravitate towards female women authors. So I don't get this perspective a lot. I don't get this much masculinity a lot. I don't get this much insight into the male mind, into the male experience, especially the Black gay male experience. So there's so much. I'm rambling on and on. There's so much for me personally to take away from this, and I really am so glad that I read it. Like, it's been waiting on my shelves for like probably 2 years at this point. And I'm really, really glad to have read it. There's even a little bit of a love triangle, kind of a love square a little bit, but I think they're all just real flirty because I'm like, okay, do you like him? Or I thought y'all, wait, what's happening? But it's really endearing. Like, I guess what I'm saying is like, I'm thinking there's definitely a bit of a love triangle, but one of the friendships is so endearing, and it's so comfortable, and it's so, you know, just playful and sweet and kind, and, you know, they get one another, they lean on one another. I'm talking so much about this book. I'm really trying to shut up, but it's a really nice book. And I am really glad that I read it. There is a second book called Together. And I do plan on picking that one up. I see it all the time, but I haven't gotten it because I hadn't read this one yet. So I'm definitely going to pick that one up and see what that's talking about, because this one ends on a cliffhanger. Well, it's not a huge for me. It's not a huge cliffhanger, but it's obvious that there is going to be the to be continued. That's what it is. It's a to be continued. And I'm like, I'm set. I was reading it on my Kindle at the time, so I was like, and I didn't have like the page number or like percentage done in the book. I was just like clicking, turning the pages, and then it was like the end. I was like, huh? Like, I was not prepared for the book to end when I had finished it, but I liked it so much. So now that I have talked your brain off about that for a smooth 10 minutes, I want to tell you guys what I am reading now on my home Kindle at the moment. I'm reading Call Me Mrs. Taylor by Shae Sanders. I read The Last Man on Earth by her, binged the heck out of that, read it in a day, and I was like, I really want to read more of her books. And I think a really highly recommended book by the girlies who are familiar with her work is Call Me Mrs. Taylor. And I think it is, there's a author's note or like a what is it, warning, trigger warning or something at the beginning, and I'm pretty sure it said dark romance or something of that nature. I never read trigger warnings because I feel like they kind of spoil the book about all the main plot details, you know, like, so I try not to read the triggers. But I was clicking through my Kindle and I saw something about dark romance and I was like, okay, like, so we'll see, we shall see what it's talking about. So far I'm only on chapter 2. It seems like Shorty is a stalker. I haven't read the blurb or anything, but like, it seems like Shorty's kind of like a stalker. And the guy is none the wiser, but she's at lunch waiting for him to show up because she's stalking him. And then that's her chapter, literally just talking about how she's waiting for this man. And then the man comes and he's like at a business lunch with his coworkers and they're getting ready to have like this important meeting, and one of the coworkers sees her across like the room and he's like, yo, this girl is looking at you like she's a smoke show, verbatim, literally smoke show. Or no, she's hot, that's what he said, she's hot, she's so hot. And he's like, dude, okay. But then he looks and he's like, no, she actually is really pretty, definitely a smoke show, like something that he would say. And they're like, dude, you gotta go over there and get her number. He's like, nah, man, I'm focused on like this meeting, I'm just trying to, you know, keep my head straight, keep myself focused. And one of the guys like, yo, being with a woman always helps me focus. You know, he didn't say those words, but that's what he meant. Being with a woman always helps me focus. And he's like, man, all right, order me the chicken parmesan or something like that. And then he goes over there and talks to the woman, and she plays it real cool, like real cool, real boss bee. And I'm like, how are you plotting on this guy? And like, you did such a great job at the plotting that you like lured him over to where you were and got him to ask you for your number, whole time you the stalker. Like, I'm impressed. But yeah, I that's literally all I've read so far. I'm probably on page, let me see, probably on page like 12 or something. Page 8, girl, not even. So yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. It's really too soon to tell how I'm feeling about it, but I'm locked in. So I'll probably read like another chapter, so it's only 7:30. But yeah, those are my updates for Pritty and then what I'm currently reading, and I'll come back to you when I have more to talk about with the book that I'm currently reading. I'm reading what is this, Call Me Mrs. Taylor, an obsessive dark romance by Shae Sanders. I'm on page 39. This is such a fast-paced book. It is so entertaining. Like, unhinged characters like that ain't wrapped too tight, are so freaking entertaining, like in a book, because I just can't imagine, and I don't want to have to know what that's like in real life for someone to be so freaking like, this girl is bananas and antagonizing, and she's like thrilled by it, and like literally everything is a game. It is so disturbing, like actually disturbing. Like, if this were a real person, like, I don't know, my skin would be crawling, like, but it's so entertaining in the book. So I'm just gonna sit here and like read this on my Kindle, and I'll pop in if I have something else to say. She's crazy. I'm currently reading Call Me Mrs. Taylor. I'm on page 117. I'm 34% in. I'm reading it on my Kindle. This is one of my favorite phrases and like ways to describe characters in books. They ain't wrapped too tight, okay? Neither one of them. Like, obviously, if you've read the premise, like, obviously the female main character is unhinged, okay? She is the predator, if you will. But the male main character, I'm just like, I know you cannot be... Why are you like ignoring all of the signs? Okay, literally every sign that there possibly could be, or like stalling, asking the right questions. You're not listening to the advice of your loved ones. You are walking into the lion's den fully aware that they plan to eat you up into little bits. Like, are you like a glutton for punishment? And I am not quite understanding. You know, I have a theory. Okay, I have a theory, and this isn't a spoiler because I don't know. Obviously, I'm like 20% of the book, but I think he knows that she is like bananas. Like we are made to believe that she's the one plotting on him, right? But I'm feeling like they're gonna flip it and he's gonna be the one who was like plotting on her. I don't know how, because he seems to be really shook and like taken aback and like, oh, this is so unlike me. Oh, I never do this. Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. Like, I don't know. I feel like he knows. Like, he knows more than we are seeing that he knows. And I feel like there's something going on with her family. Like, I mean, that's not like a suspicion, like a, ooh, like I just came up with that. Like, it's written that way to like feel like there's something going on with her family. I feel like there's something going on with his family, but not in the same way there's something going on with her family. Right? And like, I know that there is a little bit of grit to the story. Like, there have been little Easter eggs alluding to like something about why she is the way she is. But I'm just like, this man can't be this clueless. He cannot be this clueless. And I'm trying to give him a little bit of grace and a little bit of, you know, come on, dude. Come on. But he's just like willingly like walking into these situations, these traps. And like, it's so, from the very beginning, he's been thinking like, no, I shouldn't do that. I'm gonna do it. Like, every time there's like a fork in the road and she's over here all evil and stuff, and he's like, this seems like the more plausible, logical, safer, you know, wiser decision. I'm gonna go here. Like, that's what he does every time. And I'm just, why are you doing this? It'd be different if like sometimes, you know, but no, it's every time. And I don't understand either of their brains. But it is a fun reading experience. I'm not even gonna hold you. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys my update on like what I'm thinking, where I'm feeling about it right now. I'm liking the book. I don't think it's anything that's gonna like knock my socks off or whatever, unless there's like this crazy twist. Unless there's a crazy twist and like a real psychological, you know, aspect to it that like blows my freaking mind. It's been a long time since I read a book like that has blown my mind. But unless something like that goes down, it's just a fun time. It's a fun time. If you are looking for like a romantic thriller, this is a fun time so far for sure. And it's funny too. When someone's unhinged and they ain't wrapped too tight, it's going to be funny. You're gonna LOL. So I'm liking it. I'm here to update you guys on the last book that I read in the vlog, and I read it on my Kindle on KU. It is Call Me Mrs. Taylor. I feel like my final thoughts are much like I was saying throughout the update, and like when I was telling you my feelings about reading the book to begin with. Like, they are just, the female main character and the male main character are very much unhinged. There really wasn't like anything that shocked me in the book. It was just y'all really crazy. They're really like, and it's so hard because the girl is such a liar. Like, that's what kind of keeps you on your toes. Like, you never know if she's telling the truth or not. Like, you never know, like, you know, what her plan is, or like, you know, like trying to get into her head is like an Olympic sport. But yeah, the relationship, look at me. The relationship between her and the male main character is, I don't know, like it's giving dark romance. I think this is like categorized as a dark romance. And I see that I feel like I'm flustered because I don't read a lot of dark romance at all. So like, it's not just like a kiki good time for me. Like, it was entertaining. It was an entertaining reading experience for me, but I didn't know what to expect. You know, like, that's probably the one subgenre that I just literally had no idea what to expect. And you know, now I know. Now I know. Because you know, I can't get into it. But the reading experience was, it was a reading experience. Would I recommend the book? Yes, I would recommend the book. If you like dark romance, or if you're interested in dark romance, to be fair, I don't know if this is a fair representation of dark romance. I read I think 2 dark romances, like way back when I first got into reading, and then one more since then, unless you want to count Demon's Dream. But I don't know if is Demon's Dream dark romance? Is it dark romance? Is urban romance? Is it dark romance? Let me know. But yeah, I haven't read too much. I haven't read too much to really know, okay, this is the norm, this is the expectation, or whatever. But all that to say, there is a book 2. It is called, I can't even tell you, like, don't look at what the second book is called, because I knew that there was a second book, and it kind of like, it spoiled it was, the second book title is a spoiler, and I don't like that. I wish there was something else. Well, yeah, I would read the second book no time soon. It doesn't really end on the cliffhanger. I mean, it's clearly setting itself up for a second book, but it's not like a cliffhanger, like, ooh, okay, what happens next? Like, or at least I don't feel that way enough to like zip out and go read it. But it was I hesitate to say fun time. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. I feel like if you are in a reading slump, this is not a boring book. This is not a boring book at all. So this might kind of nudge you out. As far as the romance goes, is it particularly like swoony? No, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. The romance is. Some of it is funny. The female main character is freaking hilarious. Listening to her like inner thoughts or whatever. And like the things that she wants to say to the male main character, but she says in her head, and like, or like to the reader, it literally cracks me up. But yeah, it was a fun time. It was a fun time. I really do like Shae Sanders' writing. This is the second book that I've read from her. The first one was The Last Man on Earth. It's just out of the frame over here. It's one of my featured books on my bookshelf. So I was like, after I read that, so many people were like, oh yeah, her books are so good. Like, you really have to get into them. And like, from the 2 that I've read, like, they are entertaining AF. So I would agree that Shae Sanders is definitely an author worth exploring and looking into. Like, I feel like she probably has something for everyone, because there are 2 different types of time, like The Last Man on Earth and Call Me Mrs. Taylor. Like, they're very different in their like approach to like romance or the storytelling or the characters connecting or whatnot. Like they're very, very different. Like she's not like a one-trick pony, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, she's on this same type of theme for all of her writing. Like I said, I just read the 2 books, but they're very different books. So I don't know, I'm sad for more from Shae Sanders. I don't know how much of a rush I'm gonna be to read the 2nd book. I will read the 2nd book, but I think I want to see like what else she has, you know, like outside of that world. But that's all for this vlog, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and or a hype, whichever you like. If you have yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. Other than that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.